What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, latest and updates, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down 1.1% during the pre-market. Very low volume, so it goes to show that institutions aren't really paying attention to NIO versus the broader market. I think a lot of stocks got hit very hard yesterday because of the whole Elon and Trump kind of scenario. NIO, in fact, did get dragged down as well through algorithmic trading. You can kind of see a lot of the barcoding as far as right there. Yesterday, there wasn't even that much in institutional transactions as well. So big money hasn't really been paying attention to NIO ever since their earnings, which is rather unfortunate. We did get a lot of new analyst ratings. Just to give you a quick summarization of all of that. So you do have ultimately 350 hold, that was Mizuho, $3 sell, Barclays. Analyst has a 54% success rating, $8.10. So that currently is the highest analyst rating on NIO. And then aside from that, it's just pretty much lackluster stuff. So nothing overly crazy. A lot of analysts were rather concerned about just NIO hitting profitability. I think that was the biggest concern and a common denominator between a lot of these ratings. So let me know your thoughts on that. No official news from NIO today, no SEC filings. This just came out though. So NIO to supply batteries to McLaren. And so that would be huge, right? That would be getting their name on the map, even more than what it technically is for their batteries. So I think that would be a pretty big accomplishment at the end of the day. The only thing that I wanted to mention is yesterday was very unfortunate. Like I said, it did get dragged down through algorithmic trading, went down 3.47%, but there was this. So in a normal circumstance, and let's say there wasn't any drama in the broader market, Trump and China had a very good conversation. So alluding to big things coming from both sides. So I think now people are willing to kind of talk. And we did have data that did come out from the States. So the balance of trade, and it did signal in April that the imports from China were very, very low. So Trump's plan to kind of cause some significant damage to China is working. Again, this is all delayed information from April, so it's not most up to date, but you guys obviously get what I'm saying. So I think that there is going to be some deals coming, but in a normal circumstance, that news of them talking would have really shot the hell up for NIO. But because of all the drama, it did get dragged down. So it was just a very unfortunate scenario. So far, shorts aren't doing anything this morning. 13.62% of the free flow is being shorted. Works out to be 210.17 million shares overall are being shorted. So it looks as though shorts did somewhat peak on June the 3rd. They've been returning a little bit since then. So that's kind of a good thing. Maybe there was something from their earnings that they saw advantageous, or maybe they're just trying to save the cost to borrow or something like that. But through IBKR, there is in excess of 10 million shares. So if they really wanted to double down, they definitely could. So just somewhat be aware of that. So the market's not open, so I'm not going to go over essentially the options from yesterday. But with today being Friday, just pay attention to this. So the open interest, you have 2,000 at that $3 strike price, 16,000 at that 350, 33,000 at that 4. So if NIO does unfortunately start to get dragged down, you might have shorts and market makers having a financial interest to suppress NIO a little bit more below that 350. I don't really see that being feasible, but you never know. We've seen crazier things happen with NIO. Flip side, if NIO for whatever reason does start to really move higher, then you just watch for that $4 range. So that's going to be pretty much the line in the sand at the end of the day for shorts, because they don't want anything, or at least to limit the amount of open interest options expiring in the money, because that way they'd have to cover them, right? Because market makers don't have a lot of volatile stocks such as NIO in their inventory. So meaning they don't want to go to the open market to buy it. They'd rather suppress it. It's unfortunate manipulation, but that's happens all the time. With it right now during the pre-market at 359, trading right now between this pivot and this S1. So 351 is going to be a strong support. So just watch for that. Then 361 followed by 371 going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So it is fair to assume, in my opinion, that it will piggyback off of the optimism in the broader market and push to this R1 and the pivot by the close. That way, obviously, shorts won't really feel the need to try to suppress it below 350, nor keep it below 4. It's kind of level ground. So shorts will be rather tame today, in my opinion. You might also have algorithmic trading really pushing stocks and the market higher because of, I guess, Elon and Trump somewhat kind of not doing any more further damage. And plus, unemployment just came out, 4.2%, and the forecast was 4.2. Non-farm payroll did come in ahead of forecast, so that's generally good. Market might move up in accordance with that, so algorithmic trading will be really pushing stocks higher. So as far as that goes, I do feel that it will kind of land between this R1 and the pivot. So if you're day trading or whatever else. But aside from that, though, you have that 50-day moving average at 382. So that's going to be another element to watch for in the next couple trading days, because historically that's a big deal for NIO at least. So we'll just watch for that. Most likely I don't see that being touched nor broken. So I think just generally yesterday was more of a consolidation day after failing to really get above that. So it's just a fun game at the end of the day for NIO. But aside from that, nothing substantial from analysts. Articles, they're coming out, it's kind of hit and miss. Some, again, just questioning profitability on just NIO overall. Some people just bringing up BYD, the recent price cuts. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Have you been buying since their earnings? Did you sell? Do you think that the analyst ratings are a little bit too timid? Or do you think that they're fairly realistic? Or do you think it's too optimistic? Flip side. So what's your general thoughts? Hopefully everyone has a good kick-ass weekend ahead of them. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And then one final thing, pop over to my Discord. It is completely free. A lot of good people talking about stocks, options, crypto. So everything that you ever need in life. So definitely pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.